Welcome to our channel, $1 Million Made Easy. On this channel, we love to run numbers for people, set up all kinds of different spreadsheets to help them see where they might be in the future, given their current financial situation. And to give you an example of what we're talking about here, we use returns for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years. We project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. They won't be identical. And the resulting numbers are simply a possible range of what may happen. They will be ballpark figures, not exact numbers. These are the numbers we actually use from the Social Security for the last one, S&P 500 for the last 100 years. And so we got this request. We got somebody that's 43 years old, got 56,000 saved up. He says he can contribute $400 a month, and he can increase that by 3% a year. So here are the actual numbers going down through. Starting out with 56,000, putting in $400 a month, increasing that by 3% a year. He figures his expenses right now, if he looks at his expenses, are $6,000 a month. Well, a lot of people recommend, and he's taken their advice, that you're probably going to need 80% of that in retirement. People debate that all the time. But we're just going to take 80% of that $6,000 a month, which would be $4,800 a month. So over the next 24 years, if there's a 3% in inflation rate, this 4,800, you're going to need 9,757 to have the same buying power and expenses as you do today. So now we need to figure out Social Security. And what's really nice is Social Security actually gives you a tool to help you. Because right now he's only 43 years old. Social Security takes a top 35 earnings years. And obviously if he's 43, he doesn't have 35 years. So it gives you a tool to actually calculate what you might have in the future if your wages are somewhat stable, obviously increasing by inflation. So let's go ahead and look at that tool. Again, this is a tool that Social Security gives you at ssa.gov. If you look at benefit calculators and specifically the Social Security Quick Calculator, going to enter his birth date, November 15th of 1981. Again, he's 43 years old. His current earnings right now are $64,000. They've been somewhat stable, going up with inflation and staying fairly close to that. Social Security index your wages for all the years that you work, so they figure all this out, and they divide by 420 and so on. But anyway, this also gives you an opportunity to, whether you want to see your benefit estimate in today's dollars or future dollars. We're going to go ahead and submit it in today's dollars. So right here is all his information. 64,000 current earnings, in 2024 dollars, at age 67, which will be the full retirement age. When he gets 100% of what this is, he's going to get $2,340. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the spreadsheet and enter this number in there, $2,340. So here we are, $2,340. What he's going to get at Social Security at age 67. Again, we've got it going at age 67, he's 43, so that'd be 24 years from now. So that full retirement age is this 2340, because it goes up by a COLA each year. This next year, 2025, it's going to go up by 2.5%. So we're just going to use that as a standard going all the way for the next 24 years. So this 2340 will no longer be that. It'll be 4232. And since he's waiting until 67, he's going to get 100% of that. So he's going to get 4232. So here's his expected expenses raised by inflation, and this is what his Social Security is going to be raised by this inflation amount. So he's going to need $5,525 from his nest egg. So what we did is ran the numbers for every single year given these numbers, and I want you to notice something, folks. Even in the worst period over the last 100 years, he would not run out of money. His money would last over 40 years. Now, if we start changing some of these numbers, you're going to start seeing some problems where in the worst case scenario, you might run out of money. For example, if he takes, let's see what if he takes Social Security at age 66. That affects it all. Nope. What's happening at age 66? That's one less year for this 2340 to grow. So now it's full retirement age 67. He'd be getting 4129, but since he's taken it at 66, he only gets 93.3% of that, which is 3853. Now there's one less year for this 4800 to grow. This spreadsheet calculates all this for you. So he's going to need 5621 from his nest egg, but still he's not going to run out of money. What happens if age 65? Now we've got some issues. We've got one less year for this 2340, actually 2 less years from age 67 for this to grow to this. And also you're only getting 86.7% of it. So again, these are the worst case scenarios in the last 100 years. The worst, the second worst, this is the 5th worst. Remember, there's 95 years where you'd be better than this. The 10th worst, and money does not run out. Let's go ahead and change this to 62 and show you the vast difference that 5 less years can make. 5 less years, that means this 2340 is only grown by 19 years of inflation, which would be 3741. But even more importantly, you're only getting 70% of this 3741, so you're only getting 2619. Now, there's only 19 years for this 4800 to grow by inflation. You need 8417, Social Security of this, from your nest egg, you need 5798. But since you're taking it earlier, 19 years into it, this $400 a month and this 56,000 has only been able to grow by 19 years instead of 24 years. So here's your amount you're going to have after 19 years, 313,000. Again, folks, this is the worst case in the last 100 years. You look across here, second worst is 341 you would have. Fifth worst is 370. The actual median is 744,000, which is about 2.5 times this amount. So you're not running out of money if you would just get the median in the last 100 years. But we're kind of looking at worst case scenarios here. So in the 19th year, you're going to have this amount, and then you're going to start this amount right here, and then you're going to start taking this 5798 out of that. Again, you're taking it out of your nest egg to live on. You've stopped working, you've retired anyway, and you're starting to take Social Security here. Look at what happens. In 7 years, you're out of money. Because, let's go down here and actually show you, turning red here. So you retire with this amount, you start taking out these kind of monies, and you're running out of money in only 7 years. What made the difference? You took your Social Security 5 years earlier. That allowed 5 less years for this amount to grow, plus you're only getting 70% of that. Plus you've had 5 less years for these amounts right here, this amount right here, the money you put in to grow. So you're down to this. Again, folks, this is the worst case scenario. If you look at the median, you have no problem. You do not run out of money. Let's go down here and see if there's any red. Looks like it lasts you 50 years, 50 years with these numbers. So looks like you're just in fine shape, but we just want to run the number here to just show you, you change any of these. Right now, let's go back to age 65. I think he was still running on him. Yeah, in 24 years. Look at if we change this to 4,500 instead of 4,800 in expenses. Look how that changes it. Now your money lasts 35 years. We can change any of these variables. What else should we change? Say you could save $500 a month. Your money lasts 29. Again, this is the worst case scenario. Yeah, your money would last 29 years. But again, if we go back to what we had there, $400 a month, age 67, age 65, you're getting your money's running out in 17 years. Again, if we had a little bit more in here, let's see how this 17 changes. Again, we're looking at worst case scenarios here, but just to show you how these numbers, let's just go to 75,000. Say at age 43, you had 75,000. Now your money lasts 33 years, and all the rest of the time it lasts over 40 years. But again, he has 56,000. What if he would save $450 going forward? Now the money's lasting 23 years instead of 17. If we go up to 500, I think I may have already done that one, but I forgot what it was. Okay, that's lasting 29 years. Again, I should have been leaving this at 4,800, shouldn't I? To be okay, looks like it's over 40 years at 500. There's just so many different variables. Okay, 24 years you'd be running out. Again, folks, it's the worst case scenario. 90% of the time your money would last over 40 years in the last 100 years. If you just had some of these bad consecutive down years, that's when we have these kind of issues. But every other scenario, this 43-year-old, what if he had this amount at age 42? That'd give one more year for the Social Security to grow. Watch what happens. One more year for this amount he's putting in to grow. Watch what this 24 does when I hit enter. Now it's lasting over 40 years. Just starting having these numbers just a year earlier. Isn't that incredible? Anyway, that's what we like to do for people, run numbers for people. Again, that's what we do on this channel. If you want me to run numbers for you, just ask. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please share this with others. Please comment, like the videos. Uh, please be patient with me. I put out a lot of videos and I don't always catch people's requests right away, but hopefully I catch yours and run the numbers for you. Let people know about this channel because they really need to know what their numbers might be. Otherwise, they have no idea. This person is 43 years old, has no idea what his numbers might look like. But we can run them and show him this is what might happen in the worst case scenario. But in general, if you look at the median, no problem. This is the highest and second highest and so on. But we can plug all kinds of numbers. We can use a Social Security calculator. We can get some really good ideas of where they might be in the future. Again, thanks so much for watching the channel.